O'Mara, who's the head of New York's Police Benevolent Association, that's the union representing the police departments, raged about how cops have been mistreated in the press. Yeah. These videos are incredible to watch because remember, this is the head of the police union that represents cops in the state of New York. Take a look.
What I read in the papers all week, we all read in the papers that in the black community, mothers are worried about their children getting home from school without being killed by a cop. What world are we living in? That doesn't happen. It does not happen. I am not Derek Chauvin. They are not him. He killed someone. We didn't. We are restrained. And you know what? I'm saying this to all the cops here. Because you know what? Everybody's trying to shame us. The legislators, the press, everybody's trying to shame us into being embarrassed about our profession. Well, you know what? This isn't stained by someone in Minneapolis. It's still got a shine on it. And so do theirs. So do theirs. Stop treating us like animals and thugs and start treating us with some respect.
Good evening and welcome to Leo Roundtable at leoroundtable.com. My name is Chip DeBlock and I'm your host. We're a group of law enforcement professionals that talk about law enforcement issues, but we do it from a law enforcement perspective. Let me go and introduce our crew to you guys. Yes, we have Brett Bartlett showing you the Second Amendment mug. I'm going to introduce you guys, if you don't mind waving when I call your names. We have attorney Kevin Buies. And we also have retired Captain Brett Bartlett. We have retired Corporal David DiAgresta. And finally, we have retired Assistant Chief John Newman. Thanks, guys, for being on the show. Cody could not make it at the last minute, so sorry, guys, for that. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, PEXIP. That's PEXIP. They're a software platform for unified communication. So thanks so much to PEXIP for sponsoring the show. All right, let's see what we got waiting in the wings here for us. We've got a councilwoman under fire. So, man, we've been getting a lot of these lately. PoliceOne.com, councilwoman under fire for comparing officers to terrorists. Charlotte, North Carolina, weeks after Charlotte councilwoman LaWanna Mayfield ignited controversy because she supported a 911 conspiracy theory. She's on defense for a tweet where she said that law enforcement officers are liking the terrorists. Now, the tweet, which she sent out on March of 26, said that being black in America under number 45, referring to Donald Trump, has created homegrown terrorists wearing blue uniforms. Now, she expanded on her argument on Thursday with a follow-up tweet alluding to police corruption. And here's a quote, and it says that I have and continue to be one of the strongest supporters of law enforcement. This is from her, but I will not turn a blind eye to corruption, assaults, and the killings of unarmed black and brown people. If you are offended by my comments and not the situation, if you are offended by my comments and not the situation, you need to reevaluate. So that's her quote. She's getting slammed for this. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this stuff online about her or not, but would love to hear any opinions that you guys have. I know John's waiting in the wings to go, so you want to start it off, John?
Yeah, you ready? You ready for this? Who cares? Who cares?
You know, piss on these idiots. They're just stupid, but people just elect them. They think they have the bully pulpit because they got elected to some bull crap little position. You know what? I don't give a crap about you. I don't care how your day goes. I don't care what you think, because most of us think the cops are doing a good job. So you're an idiot. Go back and under the rock you crawled out from, and just I'll stop right there.
He describes going to Dallas around the time of the recent killings of 5 police officers there amid the mounting fury in this country over police killings of black Americans during routine encounters. It's Baton Rouge, where 2 weeks ago a black man was killed by police not far from yesterday's rampage.
This is the police, y'all. This is the police overreach. These dudes have decided that being a cop just ain't enough. They want to be the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, and the executor. That's the way they're getting down. Black folks, you own your own. You own your own. Nothing is going to stop these dudes until violence is returned. And it has to be consistent. It's not going to be a situation where somebody got violent and they came in with the tactical unit, boo, 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 took them out real quick. It's got to happen like crime is already happening. You know, the way crimes, violent crimes are not isolated incidents around America, that's the way it's got to be before they decide, you know what, we got to stop this. We got to, maybe we're doing something wrong here. Because see, as long as they're not being penalized, they're not paying for their crimes, they have no incentive to stop. They have no incentive to treat people with respect and dignity and decency if they're not going to be penalized for their misconduct. And the only thing, unfortunately, that people in America understand is money and blood. That's it. I ain't advocating that you go out and start popping up cops. I'm just saying this is the law of averages. At some point, people are going to say, man, you know what? We tried everything else. We tried to get along. We tried to do the right thing. We tried to comply. Every kind of way you can think of, the police can kill a black person. People have been killed. Non-compliant, compliant, super compliant, ultra compliant. Like, and the only way that I can see anything changing is if they start getting the taste of their own medicine. And that's unfortunate. But that's the way America works. You can have an intersection where 1,000 crashes happen, 1,000 accidents. As soon as somebody gets killed, they want to put up a stop sign. They want to put up a signal light. As long as there's accidents, no harm, no foul, right? The minute somebody get killed, they got a stop sign or a signal light up the very next day. And it's like the cops who are doing all of this killing, they're doing all this disrespect, they are to blame every time a cop gets killed, because cops kill, so they say, out of fear. Civilians kill out of retaliation. Civilians kill out of vengeance. They kill cops out of vengeance, out of retaliation. And it's those cops that are out here indiscriminately just killing people for any little old reason, disrespecting people, pushing people around, bullying people, brutalizing people, that's gonna get those innocent cops killed, or those maybe not so innocent cops killed. They are going to be to blame. They're going to try to say somebody else to blame, but this is the hate that hate produced. They have created this atmosphere. They have created the anti-cop atmosphere. People don't want to just automatically go around hating cops. People want to feel safe. People want to feel protected, but they don't feel safe and they don't feel protected under this current system, under this current tyrannous system. They don't feel safe. And the police has created this culture. They did this all by themselves. This officer can put his own life in jeopardy.
There's blood on many hands tonight. Those that incited violence on the street under the guise of protest, that tried to tear down what New York City police officers did every day. We tried to warn, it must not go on. It cannot be tolerated. That blood on the hands starts on the steps of City Hall in the office of the mayor. Starting today, we started the mourning for our brother police officers. their heroes, their fathers, their brothers, their children. That's the men we lost today. So starting in the next couple of hours and going for a number of days, New York City police officers, through their sadness, will straighten their shoulders, stiffen their backs, and mourn for these families. We'll mourn for our city, and we'll mourn for these families. We'll mourn for our city, and we'll mourn for our brothers.
Now you heard what this man said. He's blaming the protesters. In his mindset, none of y'all needs to say nothing about police brutality, police killing people unjustly. That he said that this stuff should not have happened. He's upset that the mayor has some comments to make about the Eric Garner case. He's just pissed off about the whole thing. And he's basically saying the mayor, the protesters, a lot of people want to blame Al Sharpton and all these other ones for what happened to these officers. Remember, none of these people that they're blaming had anything to do with their shooting but the man you see on this screen.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11. Police say that a lone gunman, angry about recent police shootings of black men, opened fire on officers as they guarded a peaceful demonstration against the killings in Louisiana and Minnesota earlier this week. During an hours-long standoff, the gunman told police he was targeting white officers. 12 officers were shot, 5 killed, 7 wounded.
And wrong is trumping up charges on people. This is what I'm saying. See, the thing is, the police culture in America, I'm not saying every individual cop that's doing it, okay, they got some good ones, but the police culture in America, we could do whatever the hell we want to do, and that's okay. See, they on that Dianne Feinstein type of tip too, the police. You know how she pissed off that the NSA looked into her computer, but it's okay to look in yours? So these cops, it's okay for them to beat you up, to tase you, to pepper spray you, to kill you, that's okay. But when they getting beat up, they want you to help them out because they're the police. Oh no, you treat others the way you want to be treated. You want people to help you? Be good police. Don't beat people up for no reason. Don't shoot people for no reason. Don't trump up charges on nobody. Stop treating people different because they black. That's what you need to stop doing. If you stop doing that and treat people like equal under the law and be a servant of the community like you're supposed to do, then when you getting beat up, then somebody come help you. Man, nobody gonna help you for what? They're like, man, forget them police. We watch videos like I put on my website yesterday, breaking people's arm. The numerous videos that I put out just myself talking about the police. Why would you want to? Of course they're gonna pick up their cell phone and say, shoot, man, I'm about to put this on Facebook and World Star. That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're not gonna help you, but you created that. You made that bed, so you gotta lay in it. Sorry, it's the truth. Do what you're supposed to do. Protect the community. Be nice to people. Stop trying to be a dickhead all the time. Yes, I said dickhead because that's exactly how a lot of them act. Not all, but you know, a lot of them act like they just overrule you and because they got on this badge and they can talk to you any kind of way and all this other stuff. Stop acting like that. Be cool with people. People be cool with you. They'll help you out when you get in a bind. You get what I'm saying? Because, I mean, now, you know, when it's happening to y'all, it's a problem. But it happens to us, well, the police didn't do anything wrong. They were following procedures. We see internal affairs states no wrongdoing was involved. The officer went and got a desk job for about 30 days, and now he's back to work. Or the officer is suspended with pay on administrative leave. You get what I'm saying? Nothing ever happens. So until you start saying it's sad when your officers are doing things to people, until you have that same attitude when your officers do all this outlandish stuff, trumping up charges, when your officers start getting heavily prosecuted for doing things against people, then we would say, you know what? Man, help them police for now. Because they really protect the community. They do nothing wrong to none of us. They just here to make sure that we are safe. Sorry, change the culture in America, then the people will change their attitude toward you.
New York's top cop, Commissioner Dermot Shea, is apologizing for the NYPD's role in racial bias incidents, but he says attacks against his officers won't be tolerated, and we have seen quite a few of those this week. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Naveen Dhaliwal.
An officer smashed on the head with a fire extinguisher, another blatantly run over. Images clearly difficult to watch as peaceful protests have turned violent. Some turning on NYPD officers with knives, guns recovered.
The attacks on my police officers, your police officers, our police officers must stop.
Police Commissioner Dermot Shea.
Man, that is rich. That is rich. We have one more clip, which we'll get to in just a second. But Cenk, I mean, we're still reporting on what happened to Martin Gugino, a 75-year-old man who was shoved to the ground by two Buffalo, New York cops who are now facing second-degree assault charges. At the same time, all the dozens of other cops surrounding them didn't want to help Gugino, didn't even attempt to help Gugino. Only one of them tried, and he was discouraged from all the rest from doing so. I mean, New York is where police tried to run over protesters. New York is where Eric Garner was choked to death. I mean, how many more examples do you need? I love how he's trying to pretend as though, like, no, you don't get it. The cops in New York were golden. I mean, yeah, that stop and frisk situation, that was kind of bad. You know, that like systemic racial profiling we engaged in, that was kind of bad. But let's not mention that right now. It's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, disgusting. Us, we still got to shine on it. No, you don't. You don't.
Now, Anna, what I was going to start with is Eric Garner. I mean, he said, we don't do that. No, you literally did that. New York City, forget Buffalo, New York City, these same exact cops. George Floyd got choked and he died. One of his last words was, I can't breathe. Eric Garner got choked by NYPD, died. One of his last words was, I can't breathe. It is nearly identical what you did. And the nerve of this guy to come up. And then he says, oh, we deserve respect. No, you go around killing people to try to get respect. That's, oh, hey, what did you say? Because what's the biggest crime in America? Disrespecting a police officer. They will crack your skull, they'll do a false arrest, and sometimes even kill you if you disrespect a police officer. And then he comes out and says, don't treat us like animals and thugs. You idiot. The whole point of the protest is that you treat people like animals and thugs and show them no respect whatsoever. We're supposed to cry for you. You got a gun that the government gave you.